everybody, it's Rhonda here from Nelson Soapery. Today, let's get into a video all about taking photos. Now, I know you probably started your business and now you think, I've got some gorgeous products. How do I actually take a photo that looks somewhat professional? Because I know we all sort of think, oh, you know, you see a photo and you think, I can do that. I can make that look beautiful. Then you take the photo and it just fizzles out and does not look as good as you're hoping for. So I will give you a few tips and tricks as we go along. These are things that I've just taught myself over time. On my website and all of the photos that I take on my social media, I take all of them myself. I just use my iPhone, and there is a key to doing this. There are some little things that you need to do on your iPhone. So I'm going to be filming this on my trusty iPhone, but then I'm going to have my daughter's iPhone to show you the exact things that I do and the things that I press on to make that photo look super professional. I'll show you how to edit it. I will show you how to take the photo, the modes that you need to take it in, and how you can lighten, brighten, expose it, and, you know, get rid of the shadows or move things around in it. And we'll also go through some things that you can use to take photos on a budget. You can take a professional photo that is honestly going to cost you a couple cents. It's not going to cost you much at all. For 5 cents, you can have an amazing photo. So all you need is a few things that I'll show you along the way, and there's a few different options. So let's get going and we'll talk about photos. So now let's think about the props that you may want for your photos. You can probably find things around your house that are super, you know, easy to find. And they might just be things like, you know, a bowl that you found around, some twigs in the garden, you know, maybe there's some sort of false leaves around, you know, that you might have in like a vase in your house, you know, or something like that anyway. But a lot of things you can get from nature that you may just simply have in your garden. Or you can get some things from some really discounted stores. If you're in Australia, try the Reject Shop. That is super good. Or if you're in the US, the Dollar Tree, and I'm sure in other countries there are similar things to that. And I'll show you a couple of things that I've got so that I can show you how you can actually make these really fun photos, and then you can go over to Canva and add extra things and text or whatever you like on it. If you're using it for your website, I definitely say pop your logo on so that somebody cannot take your photos once you get super good at it, because you'll be amazed once the photos start looking good, people start taking your photo and trying to put their own logo on. So anyway, like I said, let's pop the camera around and I'm going to show you exactly how we can do this, how we can get it made, some props and so on. So let's go, and hopefully I can give you some really great tips on taking some beautiful photos. Now here we are just sitting inside my studio, and this is just basically my wall. Now if you have a look at what I actually have in front of me, these are just rolls of Cricut. So from the Cricut machine, you know how you get the vinyls and things like that. The pink one here is just a matte vinyl. The gold one is a shimmery gold one, and then I do have one here that this one's a bit textured. This one here is you know, this glittery typed one, and then this is just a cheap contact. Now the one on the bottom here, this terrazzo looking one, all this is contact that actually covers your books. It's about $1 a roll, so all you need is about 50 cents of that. So it's super cheap, and honestly that one probably takes the best photos, and you can see that they're quite matte with just a little bit of a shimmer. Now one thing to think about when you're doing this, if it's really sparkly like this pink one, if I sort of turn the camera, you can see that it leaves a bit of a shadow behind. That one's not as good. It's definitely not as good to use. And then I've just popped this on here. So if you can imagine that being framed, then we can get the beautiful photos with it. Now I have actually bought something amazing as well. Today I finally lashed out and actually bought a special board. So let's just put this one together. This one was super cheap. It's not a really good branded one, but I thought, look, this one's a great one to show you as well, and then I will actually show you some shots as well as we go along. So let's just get this one organized, and then we'll organize everything and make it look super great for these beautiful photos. Before we get the new board out, I thought I would show you, this is just a tile. All this is one bathroom tile that's a matte tile with no shine at all, and I often take photos on that. And then this back board here, this is just a cheap ply board with the white finish on it. That's all that one is, and that's how I used to take all my photos. So literally you're just going to butt the tile up really tight against the top one. You can also use 2 tiles if you want, or colors. That is a cheap alternative as well if you've got some spare tiles, or you can just buy 1 tile at a time from your local hardware store. You can get them for a couple dollars each, and that is a great one to use as well. But like I said, we do have a new board, so let's go and put these boards up and take some photos. Now this is the new one that I have bought. It's super good, and it actually says on the back of it from American Craft. So it is just a craft board, and you can see here some photos that they've got in front of this big box. It does come with these sheets that you can see here. So there's quite a few sheets in it, and it's 20 times 20 inches, or like we say 50.8 centimeters square. So it's obviously a square, and we're going to set this up. I haven't opened it. It also comes with these little clips here on the side, and you can definitely get some much more super professional ones, but this one was $70, like I said, for these 12 boards, which is super cheap. And I just thought, look, I'm going to actually lash out. I didn't even want to spend the $70, and my teenage daughter just laughed and she said, oh my goodness, Mum, just pay the money and get what you want. So if you can afford it, I definitely suggest something like this is a really amazing investment. But if you can't, like I said, I will go through some really cheap alternatives. You can also just print out a piece of basic paper from your printer with you know, a design that you like on it, like a marble print or something, and you can use that at the start. That's exactly what I used. I literally used a paper that would be 1 or 2 cents a piece of paper, and that's literally what I used to get good photos. And I will show you today how to do that as well. But like I said, for now, let's just get going with this little board, and I'll show you how to make it. So here we are, everybody. So I've opened it up. It does come with these. So like I said, these are the little clips. So obviously each board would fit into each side of these, and we will put these up so I can show you as well. And then it does come with these boards inside it. You know, as I said, this isn't what I would call the top best quality one, but for $70, I thought it was a bit of a bargain. So let's open some of these up so I can show you the patterns. And there was a rose kind of pink one, and I thought that would probably be really good, because one thing I did notice is when I was actually using the vinyls, the time I edited the image, it was making the pinks different colors, which I didn't love. And of course some of them had a bit of a shine, so then of course I had to try and fix that. So hopefully this will definitely help. So like I said, let's open this up. Alright, so I have figured out what it is. So what you actually get with these is you just get 2 boards like this. So it's kind of like a medium-sized board. And then the idea is we're going to get these, which these are basically like a thinner paper. And then this paper is going to attach to these boards. So let's open this one up and I will show you what it looks like. Everything is totally sealed super well. So I'm going to try and be gentle so I don't ruin it. So they're not super thin, but they're not super thick either. So this is the wood one. So if you like wood, then we've got a white wood on that side. So that will come in handy because I personally prefer the white. And I will actually put these up, like I said, today. We're going to take some photos and I'll turn these around so you can actually see. So basically it's one, and on either side it has a different one. So then there's your black, then there's the white marble. That one looks super cool. I love the white marble. Then you have this one, which is like a green texture. If we turn it over, this obviously you guys will think this is going to be my favorite. This is like a pinky texture. It probably looks brown on camera, but honestly it's like a rose pink. It's not my normal pink, but it's still nice. Then it's got like a cork kind of one in here. Then it does have this one here, which is another wood. It has a terrazzo type one as well, and then a floorboards. And the floorboards are really handy to actually use, but you need to make sure the floorboards are all facing that way and not the opposite way. And of course some brick if you want that, and of course the subway tile, which is super popular. So now let's pop this one all together, and I'm sure you're going to love it. I will keep this box so that when I'm finished I can just lay them flat back in the box again. So now this is the idea. The idea is to literally lay your board and then lay the other one so that it's face up. And I will actually turn the camera and show you that in a minute. And then of course we're going to use this with these. So let me just get into this little bag. So each corner is basically just going to slide into these. So if you can kind of see how this is, it's going to slide in here and then the other one will be at the top. So we will pop that one in, and then these are going to just hold it onto the top of the boards, because remember the other bit of paper or card is just thinner. And as I said, this is only a cheap one. It's nothing super special. So let's pop the camera around. So now I won't talk in this one here because, you know, we need to put all this one together, but I will just turn some music on and you'll be able to watch me pop this one together and see how easy it is. Hopefully I make it look super easy. So let's get making. All right, everyone, so we've got this one set up. So now let's just do our thing. So on here, this is just a normal iPhone. This is one of my daughter's ones. So on here, all we're going to do is show you how to do a photo. So I'm going to set up the scene. So let's just choose what we want. So we'll do one in a bath bomb, just so you can see what I've done. So on here, this is my particular bath bomb. I've just got it on a tray and there's 2 bath bombs. So now let's just put this back a bit further so that we can see. And now we're going to be using this so I can show you. So if you can see, let me just move it so that I can try and, so now if you can see here, we have our iPhone. So basically this is what you're going to see when we fix it. So let me just move my little camera back a weeny bit because this is a bit tricky in the spot I'm in. So now we do have our phone here. Now if you can see on the phone, I have this in portrait mode, if you can see that mode. So when you go into photos, just click it onto portrait. So that's all we're going to do. Now if you have a look here, we'll just hold it in the middle and we're just going to push it once. We just want one photo, so we're going to keep the photo. Then we're going to go into here, open the photo up. So this is the photo we literally just took. Now to get your photo looking beautiful, there is a few buttons. So we're going to go into edit. And what I like to do with mine is I really do like to just go in and click on the box at the top and push square. And then this is going to put our product straight away without touching anything else. You can see this is what it's going to look like on our site. And less is more. You can see here I only have 2 bath bombs and 1 plate. That's literally all I've got. So now we've got it in square. Now if you have a look at this little button, can you see this middle one here, the little circle? Push that. And the first picture is original. If you go to the second one, I usually use this, which is called Vivid. It brightens the picture up quite a bit. And if we go back to the other one, you can see it's quite dull, original. And most photos, when you take them, they're not going to look like the way you took them. They're going to be more vivid. So that's what I do now. So now we've got that. Now this first button here, this is where we're going to brighten it. So click on that. And you can push auto, but I don't like auto because it usually makes it too bright. So we're going to click on this first button here, and what this is going to do is show you the exposure. So if you can see, we can lighten that. So can you see how it's light or dark? And that's what exposure does. So you just play around, go to the next one, which is called brilliance, and these two are making it bright. So if you can see, that's super bright and beautiful. And then highlights, this might just mean, you know, you want to highlight something, so we'll just go past that. Shadows are going to get any shadows. So if you have lots of shadows, you can go to the side or the back and play with that. But that's not important. What's important is the first two and the contrast. So can you see now, I'm going to make it lighter or darker, and it's making the background change as well. Now this is basically what it looks like in real life, so I'm going to click on that. The last one is brightness, so if it's not bright enough, just brighten it up. So now you can see this is the photo. This one here looks more realistic in photos than, you know, when I'm on the camera. This one here looks quite dull, but it is a little bit brighter than what it looks like. So this is basically our photo. Once we've done, just say done. And this has now saved this photo that we've done to our, you know, to my phone, and we can just use this. You can put it in Canva. You can, if you put it in Canva, then you can put your logo on top or whatever. So I'm sure that you can see how professional that looks with just a little tray. So I hope those tricks are going to help you really understand how to take a photo. Now, something else you can do as well, we'll take this one out of the way and we'll take that phone just off for a second. You can buy things like this. Now, isn't this cute? Now, these are little trolleys. These cost me like $3 each. They're really, really cheap. And then what you can do is you can get a bath bomb and literally pop your bath bomb in. And because this one is purple, I would usually put the purple one in that. And if I had a pink one, I would put the pink one in this. So now I've got this like red sort of colored one, so I would move that one to be red. And then if you can imagine, we can organize our shots. So you're just going to move them because you don't want them too cluttered. When you have cluttered images, it doesn't look good. I definitely would tell you that it doesn't look good at all. And then if you get nice and close, if you can have a look, this is literally what your photo is going to look like. So you can take a photo from the above. I'm holding the camera above, or you can lower it down so that then you're getting the front view. So if you want a top view, hold the camera above, you know, the image, and then if you want the front view, obviously you're just going to go front straight onto your image, take the photo and then edit, as we talked about before. Now, there is so many different things that you can do, and one thing I would definitely suggest is just not too many props. Too many props can really spoil your photo. So now if we just do a soap, for instance, pretend we're going to take this one of our soap. You may just literally want the soap with a flower on it. Usually I'll put another soap to the side because it just looks more attractive to the eye. Now, if this was the cover for this one, I would usually just do one or two like that. And usually, you know, you might have two like this, or you may do this and that, and then just put your flower in front. So let's just move the camera. So now can you see this is what your photo is going to look like on front on, or, you know, above the image. So I hope that also does help, because, you know, when I first started, I used to think, I need a board and a plate and a this and a that, but you really don't. It's really just one or two things just to make it look good. But the thing that's really important is make sure that your photo is showing the product, not the props, because I used to do that and have heaps of props, and then the props were shining and the photo was not shining. My products were not shining. So that's for that. Now let's just go and change the board, and I'll show you a little bit on a cheaper version what you can do as well if you didn't have these boards. Now, if you can see here, these are two A4 pieces of paper. So basically I've just typed something on the other side of them. You can literally use this to make your photos look great. Obviously you'd need to stick it to the board, but I don't want to do that and ruin my brand new boards. But like I said, you can just sort of hold it up. A little bit of blue tack behind it is fine. We'll just sort of balance it for the minute. And now let's pretend we are just going to take a photo of this beautiful product. So if you had this, for instance, usually I would say, you know, put another one at the bottom because it just enhances what it is. Now let's just use the zoom in so we can see. Now, can you see how cute that looks? So that photo would be a really good photo once we go and edit it and do everything else. And that's just on a white background. You can just buy pink backgrounds, white. These sheets of paper, honestly, will probably be 1 or 2 cents for a sheet of paper. You can print out a pattern on these as well and use that. So don't think that you need to get these expensive boards, something really fancy. You can literally just do them like that, save them to your phone, and then upload directly to your Shopify site if you have a Shopify site. And I hope this really does help you. And you can see here now, we haven't lightened this shot or anything like that. We're literally just showing the shot the way it is. So definitely go back into portrait mode and do those little modes that I said. And I really do hope this photo tutorial does just help you a little bit. It's definitely a cheap way to do it. If you can afford a photographer, of course, that's an option. Myself, I just don't want to pay for that right now, so I do all the photos myself. Now, if you love this video, please make sure you give me a huge thumbs up because that definitely helps my Bubsy channel. And a huge thank you to everybody on YouTube and Patreon that are supporting me. I'm so lucky to have all of you. I really am. We do also have a little thing that we have done on YouTube at the moment. There is a top join button, so if you click on the top, you can join as well, because I am going to have some live chats behind the scene for members on my YouTube channel. So that will be coming up in 2023. Very exciting once we get a few members on there. Anyway, I hope you loved the video. I will see you next time. Bye everyone.